sila decal. The YGLs are selected globally, and there's about 200 people get selected every year. The shapers form their own hubs in cities, and in the Philippines we have 3 hubs, currently 4 hubs. Manila, Cebu, Iloilo, and Davao. And then soon we're gonna hopefully initiate the hub in Bohol. So that's the shapers. And then there's the social entrepreneurs, the Schwab social entrepreneurs. Mark Ruiz is kind of a representative for the Pinoy. And then there's the tech pioneers. I don't think we have a tech pioneers in the Philippines for now. Hopefully we'll create that. So the idea of Ocean is to really extend the conversations that's typically pioneered by the World Economic Forum. And then we key in or we pattern our discussions with the discussions in Davos. So this year, for instance, our discussions in Davos is this fourth industrial revolution, right? The power of technology to change industries, to change social structures, and to bring greater good, right? So keying in from that, we're gonna take that conversations to Bohol. We're gonna simplify it a little bit so that we can have a really good discussions on it into things that may affect emerging countries like the Philippines. So that's the concept of Ocean. That's the strategy of Ocean. We started this 2 years ago in 2014 when the Southeast Asian World Economic Forum event happened in Manila. And we didn't want the conversations to just stay in Manila, so we kind of extended the event from Manila to Cebu at the time, so we can incorporate the other leaders, the communities, and the government in the discussion. So we're keeping that model. We're going to bring the same composition of delegates between leaders and governments and global experts. But this year we're doing it in Bohol. So we're really excited to do it in Bohol. Number one, the governor is really excited to host us in Bohol. Importante with the forum and conferences is it doesn't stay as a conversation. We need some action. So in preparation for Ocean, we're actually doing something ahead in Bohol. For instance, we are going to promote Digital Bohol, which is basically the idea that if digital is now part of our life, it's ingrained in our lives, right? We have mobile phones, we all have Facebook, we now we now beginning to understand and like the services of Uber and Airbnb, right? If that's becoming part of our fabric and how we live on a day-to-day basis, if you reimagine that for an entire province, in this case Bohol, what would we do? So we're starting that August 14, 15, and 16. We're launching this in Bohol in anticipation of Ocean. And then 4 key areas, ito mga emergency, right? We're gonna figure out how to use technology in emergency situations. How do we communicate when there's no telco and there's no solar and there's light? How do we help each other out? Number 2 is entrepreneurship. How do we create new kinds of entrepreneurs? And you're gonna see something new here, right? And you guys can publish this first. It's the idea of indiepreneurs. Independence. Because the cool part here is that up until now, pag sinabi mong micro-entrepreneur sa Pilipinas, iniisip mo sari-sari store, di ba?
Pushcart.
Right, pushcart. But we wanted to change that. Hindi naman we don't celebrate them. I think they're important. It's good and it's cool that we have so many micro-entrepreneurs. But we have an opportunity to shine on a few areas. So we want to promote the indiepreneurs as the face of our micro SMEs. These are musicians or entertainers, foodies, di ba? Marami ng food movement ngayon sa Pilipinas, right? We were gonna promote artists. We want to promote fashion. If you look at fashion, we have a lot more sprouting up, di ba, na genuine Filipino like Rags to Riches or Anthill, right? So we want to find and promote and encourage those movements. And then fifth is that it's kind of hidden, but they're actually an important fabric of our outsourcing business is the e-lancers. People that are doing What's important in describing them as indiepreneurs is we want to describe them as an industry rather than separate individuals. Kasi kung may industry, we can create programs. We can invest in them. We can create tax policies in them. We can protect them. We can promote them. So Digital Bohol, number 1. Number 2, indiepreneurs. Those are the 2 things we're bringing to Bohol. That way, pag nag-uusap na sa ocean, we have a context, right? We don't just talk about technology. Talking about how technology can help society, right? This is Digital Bohol. We can talk about how technology can further the indiepreneurs, right? And we like it because alam mo yung mga uso ngayon, di ba? People talk about big data. Okay, we've talked about that for a long time and we have a discussion on big data. But now we're beginning to talk about platform economy. Ano ba yung platform economy? That's Uber, that's Airbnb. Ano yung beneficiary ng platform economy? It enables indiepreneurs, di ba? Kasi kung walang Uber, mahirap mag-drive ng kotse, nakikita ka. Kung walang Uber, walang platform. Right? So, think about Uber for musicians. Right? Na meron ka ng, sino ba yung gusto kong banda? May party ako diba? So you can find one, right? Rated, ranked. We're gonna teach them how to make money digitally like Spotify and stuff. We're gonna invest in them. Kailangan mo ng better guitars, better amplifiers, all that stuff, right? That's promoting entrepreneurship. So that's something new, right? That we can promote. In food naman, how do you find them, right? Ano yung mga bagong pagkain? Ano yung, unique foods in Bohol or unique foods in Cebu, right? How do you promote them? How do you rank them? How do you get the world to know? So these are the new platforms of entrepreneurship. So part na yun, pag-usapan yun sa Ocean, di ba? So may example ka na, hindi lang theory. So in Ocean, we're gonna talk about 8 topics. Let's see if I can remember all of it. Pero ano sa cheat sheet niya? Important one is talent, obviously. 2 is disruption of enterprise. Paano magbabago yung mga companies? Kung high-tech na masyado, anong itsura ng PLDT in 5 years? Ano itsura ng Meralco in 5 years? Ano itsura ng PDO in 5 years? Right? Kung kung naka-over the top na tayo, may satellite communication na, how does PLDT evolve? Kung may solar na tayo, may batteries and everything, how does Meralco evolve? Right? Kung marami ng fintech, may Bitcoin, how does BDO evolve? Right? Yun to yung disruption of industries. I think it's interesting topic of conversation, and then we'll talk about all sorts of topic and so yun ang goal. Now I'm gonna leave with this, and I'm gonna ask Annalisa and Mika to talk about very specific topics as well. What's exciting about Ocean is that attendees are not just geeks, right? It's really a blend of everyone. So we have a cross-section of techies, businessmen, entrepreneur, government officials, students, and even change makers, social entrepreneurs. So, number 1, cross-section, iba-iba. Number 2, we have incredible support from global thought leaders. So, British Telecom will come, LinkedIn will come, GE is coming to talk, right? They're coupling it with the NEC from Japan. So, they're coming. Now we have also coupling them with the Filipino companies, the biggest ones, BDO, Union Bank, PLDT, Meralco. So this is a good way for us to really create our own little, Davos equivalent here in the Philippines, inspired by the World Economic Forum. Obviously, the communities are the ones dealing with it. Cross-section of industries, cross-section of age. Merong
Gen X mean.
Merong millennial, may nevermillennial, may Gen X, Y, and even Z. Yeah, I was just wondering kung ganito naka-high-tech yung mundo, mas impatient pa yung anak ko, diba? So, these are the things that will happen in Ocean. Now, the other thing that's interesting in Ocean is it's not a conference that people attend. We expect bi-directional dialogue. So, yung mga pupunta doon, delegates ang tawag. Because they're expected to communicate, to contribute the ideas and discuss, right? So the venue is very different. Hindi yung maraming nakikinig, isang nagsasalita, right? This is actually
not the typical
session.
Not the typical conference.
Yeah, it's not a talk conference, right? Who wants to? Yeah, that's important. Now the other thing that's unique, and especially for our sponsors, is that we're also going to make sure the content lives. Diba? Dinala mo na yung kadami-daming tao sa isang lugar, diba? And then you have 8 very well thought of topics. We want to make sure that we share the learning, no? So the event will actually, the speaking tracks will be sponsored. As an example, Meralco will sponsor Disruption of Enterprise, PLDT will sponsor the new MSMEs, the entrepreneurs. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to educate the industry before the event about all these new topics of discussion, like future of jobs. And then the event itself will be broadcasted. It'll be recorded and broadcasted around the country. And then yung outcome, yung pinag-uusapan, will be written into a white paper that we will publish. So it's really a planning knowledge exchange session to do that. So this is kind of how we, Annalisa and Tikal, and this is kind of our world in the World Economic Forum. I just want to share it to the Philippines, right?